Hello everyone and welcome to edupediaworld.com. In today's class we are going to cover the topic of retrenchment compensation under section 10 subsection 10b. This is also one of the income covered under section 10 which do not form part of the total income up to certain limit. Now let us see what is retrenchment compensation and what are its tax implications. The retrenchment compensation for this purpose means the compensation paid under the Industrial Disputes Act 1947 or under any act, rule, order or notification issued under any law. Basically, by retrenchment, it is meant that the employer is removing the employee from his or her job. So that is known as retrenchment. So if the employer is paying any compensation for retrenching the employee from his or her position in the organization, then that is known as the retrenchment compensation, and it is paid under the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. It also includes compensation paid on transfer of employment under Section 25F or closing down of an undertaking under Section 25FF of the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. So it also includes when there is transfer of employment. It may happen that the company is being overtaken by some other company, and in that case also it may happen that the new employers are removing the old employees from the organization. In that case, the compensation paid is also known as retrenchment compensation under Section 25F of the Industrial Disputes Act. Moreover, the closing down of the undertaking and the compensation paid under that is also known as retrenchment compensation. So these are all the situations in which the retrenchment compensation is paid by the employer to their employees. The above limits will not be applicable to cases where the compensation is paid under any scheme approved by the central government for giving special protection to workmen under certain circumstances. In the next slide, we'll be learning about the limits up to which the retrenchment compensation is exempt from income tax. So, it is given here that those limits which we'll be learning in the next slides will not be applicable to cases where the compensation is paid under any scheme approved by the central government for giving special protection to workmen under certain circumstances, because in those cases the full compensation will be exempted and the limits given in the next slide will not be applicable. So these are the all terms and conditions of retrenchment compensation. Now let us see up to what limit the retrenchment compensation is exempt from income tax and what is the part of retrenchment compensation that is taxable. Now, following are the limits up to which the retrenchment compensation is exempt from subject. The lower of these two conditions will be exempt from income tax. What are they? Let us see. The amount calculated in accordance with the provisions of Section 25F of the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. And what is that amount? It is equal to 15 by 26 into average salary of last 3 months into completed years of service and part thereof in excess of 6 months. So this is the formula to calculate the amount as per Section 25F of the Industrial Disputes Act. And the second condition given is an amount not less than rupees 5 lakh as may be notified by the central government in this behalf. So presently the statutory limit of retrenchment compensation which is exempt from tax is rupees 5 lakh. So the lower of these two amounts will be exempted and the remaining amount will be taxable. Let us see once again what are the two amounts. Number one is 15 by 26, that is 15 days salary, in which 1 month is equivalent to 26 days. So we calculate 15 days salary into average salary of last 3 months. The average salary of last 3 months will be multiplied with the completed years of service and part thereof in excess of 6 months. So anything in excess of 6 months will also be taken as complete 1 year. And the next condition is the statutory limit of rupees 5 lakh as notified by the central government. Now let us see one question on this to understand this topic and this limits in more details. Mr. Garg received retrenchment compensation of rupees 10 lakh after 30 years and 4 months of service. At the time of retrenchment, he was drawing basic salary of rupees 20,000 per month and dearness allowance of rupees 5,000 per month. Compute his taxable retrenchment compensation. One thing more about the limits given in the previous slide is that salary for the purpose of computation of those limits include basic pay plus dearness allowance. So just remember that salary for the purpose of computation of the above limits includes basic pay and dearness allowance forming part of retirement benefits. So now let us see what is the answer for this question. Let us see the solution for the given question. The retrenchment compensation received was 10 lakh. Will deduct the exemption under section 10 subsection 10b, that is calculated as per the note below, which comes up to 4,32,692, and the remaining part will be taxable retrenchment compensation, and that is equal to 5,67,308. Now let us see how this exemption under section 10(10)(b) of rupees 4,32,692 is calculated. The least of the following is deducted. Number one was compensation actually received, that is rupees 10 lakh, statutory limit of rupees 5 lakh, or the amount calculated in accordance with the provisions of the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. And what was the formula? 15 by 26 into 3 months average salary. Now 3 months average salary is calculated as follows. 20,000 basic pay into 3, that is 3 months basic pay, plus 5,000 into 3, that is 3 months dearness allowance, divided by 3, which comes up to average 3 months salary, into completed years of service, and if the service is for 6 months or more, then that will also be equivalent to 1 year. But in this case, since Mr. Garg had served for only 4 months over and above 30 years, so it will not be taken as 1 full year. So this is the formula of calculating the amount in accordance with the provisions of the Industrial Disputes Act. 15 by 26 into 3 months average salary, which is calculated as given. 20,000 basic pay into 3 plus 5,000 dearness allowance into 3. The total comes to 3 months salary, which will divide by 3, which comes to 3 months average salary into completed years of services, that is 30 years. So the amount comes up to 4,32,692. Now we have to compare what is the least amongst these three, 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs, or 432,692. Obviously it is 432,692. So that amount is taken as exemption under section 10 subsection 10b and deducted from the retrenchment compensation actually received, and the balance will be taxable retrenchment compensation. So this is how the exemptions under section 10(10)(b) of the retrenchment compensation received is calculated. Thank you, students. Hope you have understood the meaning and the tax implications of the retrenchment compensation received by employees and how it is calculated as per the limits given under Section 10, subsection 10b. Thank you.